What's up, everybody? It's Fireplace Friday. I'm Jeremy, your host. I'm out in the field. I couldn't do it at 10. Had to modify a little bit. It's been a crazy morning. Had to come out. Got a call from a customer that we had been out on, and I saw something very funny when we called. She said her fireplace was shutting off, and her garage door and her TV stopped working. And I was like, "What the heck?" And I looked at a few things, and I thought, that doesn't look like it's wired correctly. So I wanted to get out here because it could be a problem. So it came out, and they had she had had over time several other companies and fireplace shops and some electricians and things like that out. And so anyways, what basically ended up happening is me and Joe, one of my techs, I brought out my electrician tech too, because it was every time she turned on the fireplace, not only would the fireplace shut off, it was causing the TV and her garage door to not work. How does that work? That's weird. Well, I'll tell you what happened. So most of your things in your house are connected for electricity, and then they just have switches, so each individual thing works. So if you add or take away something and it isn't wired up right, it can do other things and, blow circuits and things like that. And anyways, this fireplace had electric going to the switch to turn it on, and it shouldn't have electric going to the switch to turn it on. That can be very, very dangerous. Electricity is by far the number one reason houses have fires. It's very, very dangerous. You really shouldn't mess with electric yourself if you aren't trained. And also, the biggest point of this video is for a lot of the people that she had out, and it wasn't her fault. It wasn't like she was intentionally. She was expecting, when you go to somebody and you go, "Hey, ring, ring. Hey, can you work on this?" And they go, "Yeah, no problem." They came out and they shouldn't have been working on this. So my point of this video today is, you have to hire an expert, okay? We, as a fireplace company, only work on fireplaces. We don't do siding. We don't do framing and all this other stuff in the house. We don't, we stay in our wheelhouse. We are experts. So many times, almost every house fire I've seen has been caused by somebody that didn't do the job correctly. And I keep on seeing this more and more as people are upgrading their home, doing a lot of stuff right now during COVID because they're having to stay at home a lot more, so they're wanting a lot of stuff done to their house. And a lot of it leads to, I want to say, they go, "Hey, I'm going to call this contractor, landscaper, whoever to do this fireplace work or do this work, and I want a fireplace." And they go, "Hey, I want to add a fireplace or modify this fireplace to look this way." And they go, "Sure, I can do that. I have a hammer. I got some framing. I can do this." And they're putting wood where it shouldn't be. They're doing things to fireplaces that shouldn't be done, and they're going to cause a lot of fires if they haven't already caused a fire, a lot of danger, etc. And it all boils back to, as a homeowner, you really need to hire experts. Do the research. Ask your friends and family. Don't just find out, "Hey, they worked on this house over here," whatever. Look into their credentials. Make sure they're trained, certified, insured, workman's comp, background screened, all of this stuff. Then go forward with it. But I'll tell you, when I say an expert, is an expert going to be the cheapest guy, the cheapest thing, or all this? Are they going to be the low ball? Are they going to be? No, they're not. You're going to pay a little bit more. But when it comes to fireplaces and the stuff that I've seen lately, and quite frankly for quite a while, especially with people that are they get on Pinterest and they see fireplaces faced or what have you. They watch a TV show on television and go, "Hey, I want that." And an expert is looking at that show or Pinterest or whatever and going, "That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong." And we have this thing called minimum codes, and the code books are written, and you want someone an expert, has been trained in those. It's a minimum standard is what a code is. minimum standard, so these bad things won't happen. But you need someone who's an expert that has the training, prove that they have the training through a certification or a credential or college or what have you. And experience counts too, but people have to start somewhere. So I kind of have a little rub on that. If you have an inexperienced person, is that person and the jobs being overlooked by someone that has that more experience, as that person who might not have as much experience is becoming an expert? It takes time. I think there's a book out there, I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's called actually Becoming an Expert. And basically, on a minimum, that book reflects, if I'm saying it right, I haven't read it yet, but it's on my list. I think that references 5 years of doing something. And this is what I stress to my staff constantly. Guys, the only way you're going to get ahead in life and excel at a trade or what have you is to become an expert. And you have to stick with it. It took me years to get the knowledge that's up in this brain right now. And there's a lot of it. And I don't brag on myself enough, but I've had 2 people in a row today ask me about my credentials and things like that. And you got to kind of brag on yourself. Maybe I should brag on myself more. I don't know. I'm not that type of person. At least I try not to be. Maybe some of these people that are logging on here go, whatever, Jeremy. You talk like you're awesome and God's gifts to fireplaces all the time. Who knows? At any rate, I'll tell you one thing though. She had this house that I'm at had, probably 5-6 people out, and I just fixed it. I knew exactly what was wrong with it. So, anyways, moral of the story: at least when it comes to fireplaces, hire an expert. Don't hire a contractor. Don't hire a roofer. Don't hire none of them. Not even a firefighter is trained in fireplaces. You need an expert. Stick with it, because this could have been a huge, horrible potential problem. And I see stuff all the time. We mark it on our inspection forms and everything all the time where fireplace facings have been redone, fireplaces have been installed. There's a lot of stuff we can't see too. That's behind the wall. We do not have x-ray vision. I have not found the supply house. Home Depot does not sell x-ray glasses. So hire an expert, have the work done by an expert, pay the money for the expert, just like you'd pay an expensive doctor, surgeon, what have you, to do your heart, work on your heart or whatever. You wouldn't just go to some guy on the corner out of Craigslist. You want an expert. Hire an expert, especially when it comes to fireplaces. That's my rant for the day. I think it's a very wise one. Hire an expert. Have a great weekend. It's going to be very nice here in Kansas. We'll see you next week. Fireplace Friday. I'm Jeremy. Have a great weekend.